what's going on, fight fans? Hey, this is Coach Lee, the Wild Man, coming at you again. You know what time? Another episode of the Wow Hour. Now, you know what we do with the Hour. We talk whatever we want to talk about, man. We bring it to you live. We bring it to you raw. On top of that, we bring it to you wild. Now, of course, I couldn't do none of this without my road dog, Chad, the mother effing Burns. Now, before I let him go and start talking, behind the scenes, I don't effed up like a motherfucker. He been laughing at me for about a good 20 minutes. So we gonna go ahead and try to stay professional because he wants to crack more jokes, but we gonna let this go. Chad, what's going on, brother?
I wasn't going to say it. I really wasn't. I mean, we've been sitting here bullshitting online for 10 damn minutes, and I kept looking down going, dude, it's not coming up on the feed. What's the problem? Oh, imagine that. Darren's fucked up again. Didn't hit the live button. Hey, it's okay. I can just keep talking. Whatever you want to do, Darren.
So you see what I gotta deal with? He don't cut me no slack, which is good because we don't cut nobody no daggone slack. Why should we be any different? All right. Speaking of not cutting anybody any slack, we gonna catch up on some stuff that we missed before. So, Chad, what's your take on this Dana White situation and smacking his wife up at a club and stuff like that? Of course, it's an ugly look for any man, but you talk about a powerful man who pretty much runs some shit. So, how you see it from your point of view?
I think that's just one of those things of in his position, after all these years and you never really heard anything come out of, oh, look, Dana White at a strip club with 20 strippers. Oh, look, Dana White in a domestic dispute. Oh, look, Dana White caught in DUI in Las Vegas. You've never heard anything. He stayed squeaky clean through all of this. I think it was just a matter of time. You got to remember, in his position, he's got magnifying glasses on him 24/7. Somebody's got a camera on him 24/7, waiting for something. I
Yeah.
mean, waiting for anything. He just screwed up and gave them something. Them together, them as a couple. Uh, it really goes back to, hey, he's human, and there's another example of it.
Josh, out you down. What's going on? What's going on, man? Hey, guys, chiming in already. So, hey,
What's
so
going on, Bob?
and I agree with you. Sometimes things just go wrong like that, but I think why he's getting so much heat is because he's been giving everybody the business. When you f up and Dana White don't like what you did, he goes live. I take going live from him where I want to shit on somebody. I said, where my live button at? Boom. Hey, guess what, fight fans? This motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And he don't spare no expense. He don't do it behind the scenes. He don't keep it. He makes everything for public consumption. So now he's in the spotlight for the stuff that he used to crucify other people for doing. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, and again, you got to remember he's only human. I'm just shocked it's took this long.
yeah.
I'm surprised something bigger hasn't come out. He's done a great job of keeping stuff under wraps, but then again, kind of like him and his wife both said, "Hey, this is not normal for us. This is something that happened. We're handling it." Um, the better question is you've heard people say, well, what should his punishment be? How you going to punish a millionaire? What are you going to give him? A couple weeks off, couple weeks vacation, let him go to the Bahamas? I think he said it perfect. You ain't hurting me. You're
Mm-hmm.
hurting the employees. You're hurting the fans. You ain't hurting me. Like, I could take 3-6 months off. You ain't bothering me at all. I think he did the best thing. He came out, he acknowledged it, he talked about it, so did she, and then it's kind of like move on. That's his personal life. It is what it is. Um, he'll never be a women's rights activist again. Kind of like Michael Vick will never be on a Purina commercial, but
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. What the hell are you gonna say?
Yeah.
But you got this new cancel culture bullshit that everybody's like, oh, burn him at the stake. Man, eat shit. It's his personal life. Get the camera off of him. What he did's wrong. He knows it. All right, move on. What's his actual job? Running the UFC. Let him run it. Shut up.
Mm-hmm. But 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 you right on that part. Really, nobody has really tried to cancel him. Like, guys like Errol Hawani, I ain't gonna lie, I went in, I talked my little share of shit, on my other podcast, but nobody has really tried to cancel him. some people have made some statements. He need to be some fun punished, maybe some fines, but no one's like, let's remove Dana White. I haven't seen that, not really. So, as far as I'm concerned, he good. I mean, as jacked up as it is, for the, overall, he's good. So,
Yeah, I think it's another one of those things that'll blow. It'll blow over. It's. I think it's another one of those things that look bad. It looked bad for everybody. It looked bad for the sport. It looked bad for the UFC, but it'll blow over. A month from now, who cares? You're going to have those hardcore haters that's been begging for him to screw up for years. Your Ariel Hawanis, and you know what? Fuck Ariel anyway. I can't stand his ass.
well,
He's just a hater. He's a hater.
well, he
Fucking,
has went in. That's for sure.
Oh, of course. Like all he's doing is sitting around on his couch begging for somebody like him to screw up. Man, fuck Ariel. If it wasn't for Dana White and the UFC, he wouldn't have a job.
Okay, so yeah, let me ask you that. Now, I am curious. What is your beef with Ariel Hawani? Because like I said, we're all podcasters.
Oh,
He's a
dude, I could go
podcaster.
in. No, fuck him. He's a Canadian that ain't never done shit. He probably played cricket or fucking tennis. I'm fucking waiting on it any day for it to come out about his boyfriend kicked him out or some shit. I can't stand his ass. He's never done fucking nothing other than sit back and criticize and point fingers at people who do. Come on, man. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. That's no different than somebody who has never, ever done anything in sport, has never rolled, who's never sparred, who's never hit mitts, who's never done anything to even try to be in this sport, but all of a sudden they pick up a camera and pick up a microphone and they got so much shit to say. That's like old Smith over there at ESPN or whatnot. I can't stand his ass.
Yeah.
Like, he's another one. They ought to catch his ass out in the damn parking lot somewhere and beat the shit out of him.
I'm surprised no one has. He is my version of your Ariel Hawani. I can't stand Stephen A. Smith. I can't stand him. I can't stand him. So I get you. Just because you said that, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Well, I mean, you want my prime example? Go and look as soon as what happened to Dana White goes on. Ariel Hawani is crying on his camera about, look at what he done to me. Now look, karma, and he's got tears in his eyes. He's like a fucking teenager that got felt up at the drive-in. Piss on him. I can't stand him. I can't stand him. I loved it when damn Dana White canceled his ass, told him he couldn't come to the show, and he gets on there crying, talking about, what did I do? What did I do? Oh my God. He's just such a baby. I can't stand him.
All right, Fight fans. As you can see, like we always tell you,
Sorry, that's a touchy thing.
apparently, like I tell you, we're not gonna pull no punches. We want to be as real with a topic as we can, simply because we want you to be able to talk to us straight too. We don't want you to be scared to keep it real with us, because we're gonna do the same. So that kind of goes into what our topic is gonna be about today. Is if beefs, considering we seem to have a couple on our own, let's talk about fighter beefs, man. Like I said, when it comes to the fight game, we talk about, talk your share of shit, boost a fight, hype a fight, say how you're going to beat an opponent, yada, yada, yada. But when it comes to beefing, can we take it too far? Can we go, look, okay, now we crossing a whole bunch of lines. Let's use Conor McGregor and Khabib, for businesses. He was going after Khabib's dad, his wife, his religion. He just went, called him, saying that he was a traitor. He just went on and on, so far past the fight that you would consider really crossing the line. So when it comes to the media, and we say, any news is good news, can we go too far when it comes to the media?
I'm going to say yeah, on so many different levels. We talked about it, about the whole Khabib thing. We talked about it when it happened, and Connor goes and throws that card or whatever it was at the bus and this, that, and other. Yeah. Do I think a ton of that was just a publicity stunt? Sure. Do I think Khabib took it personal? Sure. Did I think that Connor done it trying to get under his skin as much as possible because he knew this was one of the most dangerous opponents he's going to ever face?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He literally took it anywhere he could take it, trying to just disturb him the same way he did Jose Aldo. Like
Mm-hmm.
he just beat Jose Aldo down for however many months it was leading up to their fight, to where they literally said, Jose couldn't be in the same room with him. He was
Mm-hmm.
shook. Like
Yeah.
he mentally just completely destroyed him before the fight ever took place. I think he was trying to do the same thing with Khabib, and it didn't work. What's up, Jimmy Neely?
Jim, what's happening, brother? But yeah, so I'm gonna go with two parts with that. So you're right, but look at how him and Floyd Mayweather went. They knew it was a show, even though
Sure.
Conor was saying some stupid ass shit then too. But Floyd wasn't affected because he knew it was a show, and it was $100 million show for the both of them, if not more. So can you?
Yeah.
So that, I guess, can you consider that the difference when your opponent knows this is how we sell a fight? You know what I'm saying? Instead of taking it
Well,
personal
I
and going,
mean, what you're really saying is, what's the difference between boxing and MMA?
yeah, yeah,
In MMA, we're really going to fight. We're really going to try to end each other, and only the ref has something to say about it.
mm-hmm.
In boxing, it's promote, promote, promote. Say whatever you got to say. Let's make it look like it's going to. At the end of the day, they got big pillows on their hands,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing really, really bad's going to happen. You're not going to get dumped on your head. You're not going to get elbowed in the face. You're not going to get a motherfucker grab an ankle lock and see if he can crank it to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going to get punched for a few rounds until the referee decides to step in or you decide to take a knee. You cannot convince me. I don't care what analyst gets on here and talks. You cannot convince me that we're comparing the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
because you're not. You're just not.
Well, I'll say this: no one since I've been watching the sport has done it better than Khabib. He said after he choked out Conor, he talked his share of shit, climbed over the cage, and jumped in the crowd and jumped on Dylan Dennis. I said, if you gonna start some shit and tear shit down, that's the f how you do it. Then two of his homeboys jumped over the cage into the ring and started punching Conor in his face. I go, if you want to tear it down, that's how you effing tear it down.
It wasn't that for me.
Okay.
It was not that for me. It was the video clip. I'm sure you've seen it, of the cameraman zooms in and is right there in their face. And Dana White looks at Khabib and says, wait, this is what I believe. If I put a belt on you, they're going to start throwing shit into the octagon.
Yeah.
Like this whole place is going to erupt.
Yeah.
And Khabib said, I'm ready. I'm ready for that. I'm fine. Give me my belt. Where is my belt? I don't care. He didn't care if they started setting fires in trash cans. He wanted it to be everything that had been built up to be. He wanted them to burn the motherfucker down.
Yeah.
Like, but that goes to show, I think I said it before when we went in on this, that goes to show the difference between a fighter over here selling the fight and a fighter, say, in Brazil or a fighter in Russia. It's real to them.
Mm-hmm.
All that talk is real. Everything is real. They don't differentiate the difference between business and promotion and, oh, we just fight at the end. No, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
So
And on top
I
of
think
that,
Connor got to see that it was real.
well,
It was totally real.
well, hell, Chael Sonnen too. Cause like I said, all that stuff that went down with Chael and Anderson Silva and all this, the filthy not filthy animal, but um, thinking it was a bus and it was a horse, all that kind of crap people saying. To this day, when Chael Sonnen did an interview with Anderson Silva about him getting to fight Jake Paul, Anderson Silva asked Chael Sonnen, "How come you don't want to come to a barbecue with me?" And Chael goes,
I've
"Well,
seen that.
I thought you were playing. I thought no, I want
Yeah.
you to come." He says is it in Brazil? He goes, no, it's here in the States. They'll kill you in Brazil. You can't go to Brazil ever. They'll kill you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but that also goes back to dude, I love Chill. I love Chill. Absolutely love it. I love him as a podcaster. I love him as a just a media guy. I love him as a fighter. I love everything about Chill. Um, Chill was calling him out like leading up to their fight, and he's like, "Why you keep talking shit like this is Brazil against America? You live here. Like, what
Yeah.
the hell are you talking about? And why do you keep bringing an interpreter? You understand English? You speak English just fine." He was like, "Why are you pretending like this? Are we? Is this for real? Like, this is a fucking joke, right?" And like he was calling him out about all this shit. It was
Mm-hmm.
fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It was golden, but so is everything that Chael does. Like
Yeah.
everything from his media, everything he does. I love watching his clips he posts. I love watching his podcast. He comes up with such good, in-depth information that you go, "Oh, wait, I didn't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, I didn't remember. You're right, that happened." Like he's a fountain of knowledge when it comes to MMA, especially when you want to dabble in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's a total package. I love his takes on things, and very rarely do I argue his point or disagree with it.
Well, on top of that, well, he let the world know that fighters can do podcasts and be successful. He was the one that
Sure.
go. He was probably the first ones that really got the ball rolling, where you don't have to be a journalist to talk about fighting. You know what I'm saying? And to me, away from like the ESPN commentating and what the UFC wanted you to do, where you're limited to how you want to have a conversation. To me, I think he
Well,
changed the game.
I prefer it.
Yeah.
As do I think a lot of people, because when he says something, he's not coming from off the couch, just got eat through, eating Doritos and doing whatever. He's coming from an athlete's perspective of he's giving you the inside look
Mm-hmm.
of, hey, by the way, if you don't know, this is how this works. And I've heard him say that.
Yeah.
And I love that he comes at it like that of, hey, by the way, if you don't know, this is how it works.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens. This is what happens at the walk. Because a lot of people have not been there.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you had that conversation the other day. I'm not going to go into completely what we were talking about, but we were talking about when you would come backstage at certain shows and be shooting stuff, and I was like, yeah, and who did you see? You didn't see the matchmaker back there. You didn't see this person and that person. You seen me standing on the ramp saying, okay, go,
Mm-hmm.
okay, walk. A lot of people will never see that side of a production
Mm-hmm.
or understand what it takes to make things run smoothly, or make sure that the DJ over here or whatever sound audio guy you got has the right stuff, is taking the right markers, knows when to key the music, knows when to turn the mic back on for the guy to talk in the cage. There's a lot more than people know, and Chill knows that, and he knows it like the back of his hand.
Mm-hmm. But also, we can also talk about, and we got plenty of conversations we can go with this about people, fighters who ain't playing. Like, to them, it's not a game. Like, you just not gonna run your mouth without some kind of ramifications. And I remember Nick and Nate Diaz when they were fighting over at, what was it? Not Strike Force, and they were
Oh
fighting.
yeah.
They were fighting. I think it was Nick who was fighting Joe Riggs, and then it spilled over into the hospital, and there was a brawl in the hospital too. Remember that one?
But you've got that one. You've got when was it Nick that hit? Oh god, oh crazy. What was his name? Guy walks in after one of their partners at the gym
Mm-hmm.
is fighting, and the next thing you know, Nate clocks him,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like, oh my god. But there was a many a times that they started stuff at Strike Force.
Yeah. Like I said, I thought, man, Strike Force was the truth. Cause they had almost no rules. They like, yo, look, if swing and start, we ain't cutting this camera off for nothing.
No, they keep it rolling. Um, I liked Strike Force. I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
If you notice though, a lot of the fighters that were big in Strike Force came straight to the UFC.
UFC, yeah.
That's where Jose Aldo come from.
Mm-hmm.
Pettis,
Mm-hmm.
quite a few other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think they had a good thing going on. They had really great matchmakers. They had a good production. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
As I do one now. One
Mm-hmm.
has become like my new favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love the production. I love all the fighters they bring. I love that they have a new take on Muay Thai with the MMA gloves.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they're taking professional world class jiu-jitsu and having no gi matches right in the middle of it. I mean, I love everything they're doing.
Yeah. And like I said, it's production is another thing we'll talk about too. And you're right. There's nobody. I will put one championship's production up against anybody's. I've never seen nobody put on a show like they did. And I'm like I said, I am lucky to be able to have been part of their media in Singapore to see what a show looks like. It is no effing joke. Like they spared no expense on you being entertained on so many levels. So that's for daggone sure. But getting back to these fights, also I like when fighters tell the truth about, hey man, this shit was real. Like Frank Shamrock was talking about, man, my beef with Nick Diaz was real, man. I had to worry about how if we were gonna make it to the ring sometimes because these guys were so serious about wanting to fight. They didn't want to just fight you in the cage. They wanted to fight you the first chance they got. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, that's the same thing with Vanderlei. We're talking way back in the Pride days.
mm-hmm,
The next thing you know, Vanderlei jumps in and goes to fighting somebody in the backstage, and people are
mm-hmm,
sitting there with cameras videoing it.
mm-hmm.
But Vanderlei and a lot of the Brazilians were known for that.
Yeah.
Be careful. They don't roll alone. There'll be a
Mm-hmm,
group of them,
mm-hmm.
and if they see you, it's on site. And that's a culture difference.
Yeah.
It's you don't see it as much here in the States of, they're taking it seriously and they don't care if this was for money. They don't care if
Mm-hmm,
this is a professionals
mm-hmm.
setup that's going international. Oh no, you talk this time shit, you didn't respect their gym or one of their coaches or one of their training partners, they're going in. Like it's crazy.
Shoot, look at that beef. You had Randleman. You had Mark Coleman. What was that Wrestle
Yeah,
Pack? We had all them killers, man. It was real fights. It was real
oh,
epic
Bo,
fights.
Kevin Randleman back in the day. I did. I loved Kevin Randleman. Bo, he was another one that. Oh God, Quentin Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he seemed off the chain, but he wasn't.
He wasn't.
He
Yeah.
was a cool dude.
Yeah.
Randleman, Bo, you better had security with him at all times. Like that was not a character he was
Mm-mm.
playing.
Mm-mm.
It was not for show.
Mm-mm.
He was really that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to go, we'd go right here. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And there was only a few of them that was like that.
Yeah.
And he definitely wanted to make sure that you knew he was the main one.
Yeah. Cause that wrestle squad back then, I mean that just shows you how much the game has changed to where it's really more of a it's really a business now. People still like to fight and they'll say I love the competition, but when there was no money, you got some of the best fights where they were getting paid peanuts, but they just couldn't wait to get their hands on that mother effer. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to get this dude for a minute. Just like for me, it was wrestling. The level of wrestling competition was high back in the day, where we had rivalries that, like I said, he got me this time. I can't wait to get him, and the whole season was about getting another guy back. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
now it's more of a business and stuff like that. But I still think a certain degree of rivalry, gym versus gym or so on. Look at what I don't know how much you want to talk about this. Remember that crap behind the scenes at X64 with Jimmy Fowler? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much you want to talk about it, but it's like when shit pops off, shit pops off.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily with him. It was with other things that had come about and other coaches or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that was a grand example. He's another one
Mm-hmm.
of he's a smaller guy, and a lot of people take that for granted. But I'm here to tell you, I've been friends with him for what the better part of 2 decades now. He's that motherfucker. Like, you got something to say, by all means, say it to him. He'll have a pretty quick response.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of those guys out there. You have to remember that there's fight gyms and then there's traditional gyms coming over into the MMA side, and then you have jiu-jitsu gyms.
Yeah.
Um, Back in the day, you had gyms like, let's just go old school and throw one out there, like the Lions Den.
Mm-hmm.
You had a couple of no nonsense, just hardcore fighters that wanted to throw down. They didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't care if it was for no money or $100 or for a bar tab. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't care. Like, we're here just to fight,
Mm-hmm.
or for a lack of a better phrase, we're here to fuck shit up, and that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
Where nowadays I feel like, so many years later, it's so much more technical, and you have a lot less of those so-called fight gyms,
Mm-hmm.
and you have more of traditional gyms that are trying to bring forth a legitimacy to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think you see it as much nowadays as you did back in the day.
Yeah.
You see beefs now of, God, there's so many in like professional grappling now, which is really just took off just the last few years with a lot of it's always surrounded behind the Danaher Death Squad.
Mm-hmm.
But Gordon Ryan, Jesus Christ, you can't Google no gi without Gordon Ryan's name popping up,
Mm-hmm.
and all the shit that people try to talk with him. And I just sit back and laugh and go, how are you going to talk shit against the best grappler in the world ever? And it's not like the argument of John Jones or whoever else. You bring up Gordon Ryan, he's the best ever,
Yeah.
ever. Like somebody said the other day, it's kind of like, I think it was Joe Rogan that said it, of he's like the Tony Hawk of no gi grappling,
Mm-hmm.
of he's already surpassed the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the man, period. Nobody has the accolades he does. Nobody has a win really over him.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is talking shit or calling him out. He's the reason that most of them are making the money they're making now, and it's almost a joke to him.
And on
And
top,
he's in his 20s.
yeah.
He's in
And
his 20s.
and on top of that, he really will check you. What was that story? I can't remember the guy's name where he smacked him. He smacked him behind the scenes. The dude ran up
Yeah,
on him. It was talking that noise,
yeah.
and he smacked the shit out of him. And the guy walked off.
Well,
Do you know how much you put the fear in a mother effort that can fight when you smack the shit out of him and he walks off and there's other people around?
well, somebody can correct me on this, but I think it was one of those deals of where the guy had kept basically calling him out on social media, talking
Mm-hmm.
shit, all this stuff. And Gordon basically, I mean, he sells his own shit. He's
Yeah.
his own man.
Yeah.
Like nobody owns him. Like
Mm-hmm.
he sets up the deal, sets up the contract, sets up where it's going to be, decides the amount of money. Like he's a one man wrecking crew.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon had done everything he could do to make this fight happen, and the guy kept ducking him and disappearing, but then would jump on social media and call him out and all this
Mm-hmm.
bullshit. And basically Gordon run into him behind the fight somewhere and was like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Here I am. And the guy still was trying to talk shit, and that's when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's his way necessarily. I haven't seen him do that anywhere else,
Yeah.
but again, you don't see many people talking shit to him because at the end of the day, you're talking about the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is the best in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not a little guy. On top of that, he's not a buck 35er saying I'm the best in the world. He looks like a Greek god, jacked as hell, saying, "Hey, I don't care who you are. Like,
Mm-hmm.
name a time and a place and an amount."
Well, he's done in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu what some of your greats done in boxing, where he went up weight classes and became champion in different weight classes. That's that's when I really was. I was like, okay, I'm impressed now, because it's not easy. Technique is one thing, but strength don't normally transfer. You know what I'm saying? To a certain degree, maybe up 10 pounds, maybe 15, but you ain't gonna be a horse if you ain't a horse from day one. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's so many there's so many other things that come into play when you start talking about moving weight classes.
Mm.
Let's talk about the current topic right now. I was going to save this for a different time, but I mean, it's right all over the same subject. John Jones
Yeah.
moving up a weight class.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just start naming off his attributes at 205. You know, he's tall. His wingspan is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
His speed at that size, his strength at that size, you could just rattle it off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you go up to heavyweight, does your strength come with you? Because the strength at 205 and the strength at 250 is two different strengths.
Yeah.
We both know that from the bodybuilding world and powerlifting and this, that, and other.
Mm-hmm.
Bo, a strong Jack 205er ain't shit against
Mm-hmm.
250 guys.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
you ain't shit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Speed. Oh yeah, you was fast 205, but now you got a 50 pounds extra on you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just as fast?
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about the size difference. Well, stand next to Nagano. Are you still a big guy,
Yeah.
or all of a sudden you look kind of normal?
Mm-hmm.
Making Cormier look small and making you know Gain look small is two different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that's two totally different things. When they opened up, though, I didn't mean to cut you short.
Nah, you good?
When they opened up the odds, have you seen the odds?
No, not yet.
John Jones is the underdog.
Against Gon?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, you should have been paying attention to my liver shot page.
Oh
Oh, I
shit.
posted the odds on my story. I think it was earlier on today,
Mm-hmm.
and literally I left the little questionnaire box up saying, "I'm just waiting for somebody to take me up on this. I'll take those odds." I think he was 150 underdog.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
Okay.
was like, "I'll take this. I will take this." You're talking about John Jones,
Well,
like,
no.
I,
Here's where I'm tripping. Yeah, Gon is good. He's a very good kickboxer. He got certain skills, but he got beat by Francis Ngannou on the ground in their last
yes,
fight. How do you
yes.
equate that to being John Jones being the underdog, where that's his wheelhouse on such a high level that God may not, Game may not even get a strike off before he gets taken down. That don't make any sense.
Again, one of the things that I've always said is so dangerous about John Jones is his fighting IQ.
Mm-hmm.
He is so smart to know when, okay, I need to keep this guy at range. Okay, I need to keep this guy pinned against the cage and keep him dirty boxing and grappling, or I need to take this guy down.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Um, we've seen it so many times of him come into a fight and look nothing like his normal self. Oh, all of a sudden he's keeping this clenched. Oh, all of a sudden he's keeping this at range. Oh, now he's starting to throw these check front kicks to keep the guy from blitzing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's so smart.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to fighting, he knows when to switch it up, and he knows how to study opponents and knows how to lean towards their weaknesses and completely change his style.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think I can almost picture it when they went, okay, Nagano's out, you're fighting Gain, and he went, oh, that's all I got to do. Like, I just feel like Gain's such an easier puzzle,
Hell yeah.
and and I mean, John was already saying, "I'm ready to go any minute." He literally told Dana, he's been chomping at the bit for the last 6-8 months. Hey, heavyweight, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Like we're peaking. Like the longer y'all wait, I'm not getting worse. I'm getting better at this size.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm ready to go. When he got the call that it was Gaines and it was a multi-fight deal, I'm pretty sure that he signed. But yeah, I'm sure it was red panty night and him celebrating, and he ain't even fought yet.
Shoot, I'm looking at so many stars in the UFC aren't glistening anymore as far as stardom goes. Conor McGregor is on the fence. George Masvidal doing the hell. He in a 3 or 4 fight lose streak, even though he ain't doing nothing. Where are your stars at? So the amount of money they had to pay John Jones for him to sign an 8 fight deal, for him to stay 8 fights. You know how long 8 fights is? They says, well, hey, since Francis Nagano's gone, I'll give you majority of his daggone purse and somebody else's purse now. Now we got plenty of money to give you.
Well, I seen something about that today, and I didn't spend a lot of time going back and trying to research it because I was like, those numbers look right, and that sucks for him. But they were like, Nagano had only made like, I don't know, it was just a few million
Mm-hmm.
in his time in the UFC. And everybody else would be like, "Oh, well, that's a lot of money." And then you go, "Not if you fought 14 times." Like, no, I think it equated to like $200,000 per fight is what it averaged out.
Yeah.
So, but obviously, if you know the way the pays go, that it's not exactly that. But we're looking at averages.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go, well, how much was John wanting? And somebody said it was crazy. It was
Yeah.
up there. It's like
Yeah.
30 million or some shit.
Yeah.
And it was like Nagano was like, hey, wait a fucking minute. I want his money. Like, what the fuck have I been
Mm-hmm.
doing? I don't know. I don't know what you've been doing, but obviously you don't have the managers that John's got.
And I mean,
So,
and
but
he don't got the legacy, he don't got the history, he don't got the fights. It to make real money, you not only got to be a star, you got to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Conor in his prime was that guy. You know what I'm saying? All your greats at that time were that guy. Anderson Silva was that guy at that time. Aldo was that guy. Khabib was that guy. You know what I'm saying? They were at that time. Even Charles Oliveira at that time was the guy. Before he lost, he was the guy. You know what I'm saying? So of course people say, look, this is an investment worth spending money on because he's that guy right now. Simple as that. It ain't just about fame by itself. So,
well, okay. Let's go one step further with that. When was the last time you seen Nagano get on camera and you was like, "Oh, I need to damn record that"?
oh shit, nah.
When was the last time he said some shit and you were like, "Oh fuck, he'll be making memes out of that tomorrow"? Go ahead, I'll wait.
Shit.
Never,
He didn't learn how to speak
never.
English. He didn't learn how to speak English last week. I mean, yeah. So no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he ain't got the talk of Conor McGregor or Oliveira for that matter. At least, hell, at least Oliveira could talk a little bit.
A little bit.
He don't have the flash. He don't have the pizzazz. He don't have any of those other things that I feel like you need at this point to be a star, as you put it. To be a true star, it takes more than just fighting ability. I don't think he had the production or the money value. I don't think they gave a shit.
Yeah.
When he decided that he just was gonna not be able to make a deal and they released him and stripped him, when I watched the video of Dana talking about it, and I watched it 1 or 2 times today,
Mm-hmm.
Dana did not look to me like he gave a shit. It was, hey, I offered him a chunk of money. He literally said more than Brock Lesnar even made, which had to be a chunk.
Yeah.
And he was like, he didn't want it. Fine. We stripped him. Good riddance. Go wherever you're going to go. Hope the best for you. Like, he just did not look like he gave a shit. And the reason why, Dana's a smart businessman. You bring John in, pay him what the fuck he wants. He smokes Gon's ass. He becomes the champion. and I got him signed for 7 more fights.
7 more fights. Yep.
And he can talk, and he can sell a fight.
Mm-hmm.
How many has he sold? Like he can sell big numbers. So no sweat off his ass. You know what I mean?
And on top of that, if because the heavyweight division ain't deep already, so he gonna run through the heavyweight division. He will be the first fighter to run through 2 divisions, not win a belt in 2 divisions, run through 2 divisions. Can't nobody say that. So he will go down in another history book for running through 2 divisions. You know what I'm saying?
I got little man just woke up. I heard. Um, yeah, it's like what you said. It's legacy.
Yeah.
It's John can do all this stuff and he can talk, but he's the real deal. He's not full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not oh, he's a Patty Plimbit over here or what the fuck ever of, oh, he's talking shit trying to look like somebody else when everybody knows he's not. No, John Jones is a motherfucker. Like he will fuck you up. He's done it to some of the best in the business. Like he done it to Machida, done it to Cormier twice. He done it to, I mean, you name a really good guy in that class, and he's fucked them up, and done it in spectacular fashion. Like he did not make it look hard. So,
yeah,
I think this is going to be. I'm going to call it early. I'm going to say John goes in and wrecks his ass.
I wouldn't even bet on it.
I'm going to say he goes in and wrecks his ass.
I said I wouldn't even
I'm going to bet on it. If the fucking odds stay what they are today, I'm betting on it in a hurry. You made John the underdog. He ain't fought in how long? He's got to come out and really show out. He cannot. He absolutely, I don't give a shit if he's sitting right here. I'd tell him the same thing. He cannot come out and half-ass this. This cannot be a 5-round war where it looks like he's struggling. Oh, hell no. You don't think there's contingencies in his contract? Hey, if you don't come out and pull damn real numbers, hey, we will cancel this motherfucker. They're smarter than that. He can't come and lay around for 8 fights. He's got to come and show out. If he wants those big sponsors back, if he wants the big money back, if he wants to come back and be the guy he was when he stepped away, he's got to come show out. I say early stoppage. Early stoppage. He smokes him.
Well, I give him a full round to give the fans what they paid for, to make Gon seem like he could do a little something, and after that he gonna put it on him. He gonna put it on him. But let's say the championship.
I'd like to see it.
Let's get back to shit talking. Let's bring it back local. All right, now I've been lucky. Like I said, I'll say it to you, I'm blue in the daggone face. I've been around some fun ass shit. I ain't gonna lie, right? And some of the fun shit with shit talking is kind of catapulted me where I'm at right now because some of these stories has been good. So I'm gonna rattle off some of the beefs that I've seen on the local scene that were fun, and we picked the ones that we picked the fighters we thought were the best shit talkers that stirred up the most shit. So I was around for Marvin Skipper versus Gibson Sy. I was around for that shit where they had a rivalry going. I was around for Tamara Washington versus A-Train Henderson. They had a rivalry. Most recently was Doug Usher versus Jared Gooden. They had a beef going, right? I was like, well, shit, when that fucking happen? And two of my favorite with both with the same fighter. Fucking C.J. Hamilton had a beef with Cody Durden, and John Sweeney has a current beef, long-going beef with Cody Durden. So if I had to put the guy that stirred up the most shit that caused the most problems, it's probably Cody Durden.
Yeah. Well, him or his wife, one or the other. One or the other. I don't know. They're kind of a tag team there that is unstoppable in the shit starting community. He's definitely the notorious one in the Southeast. Of he could get some shit going, and it popped off again. I think on one of your feeds just recently of him talking, and it's back and forth on the John Sweeney thing.
Well, so what happened was, of course, I'm gonna give everybody their props. So John Sweeney, won his fight at LFA. He did his daggone thing. He was the underdog on that card, which I didn't know at the time, but he was the underdog. And then he came out with he did a good job, winning his fight. So of course I gave him his props, did a little promo for him, blah blah blah. Then people started chiming in, right? And one of these guys says, I put, I think Sweeney's ready to step up. His last 3 fights have been pretty good. I think he's ready to step up. One of the guys chimed in real quick, right? He go, yeah, tell him to step up and hashtag Cody Durden, right? I was like, oh shit, here we go. So everybody started chiming in, saying what they got to say. They kept ramping up and ramping up. Then finally, which is shouts out to Cody Durden, right? Cody Durden chimes in on my feed, right? And we was talking. I was like, okay, good. He back in the game. That's what I'm talking about. And then he said some shit. John Sweeney commented, and Cody Durden said, no, Cody Durden sent a picture of him whooping John Sweeney's ass and giving him the finger. That's what set it off.
Yeah, it was a screenshot, I think, of the video of when the ref stopped in to stop the fight, and Cody Durden walked up and gave him the finger after he'd won.
Yeah, and
we were at that fight, cage side, commentating on our feed. Me and you was. It was. The picture doesn't do it justice. When they both stepped in the cage, the crowd went nuts. Yeah. Like it was almost like everybody was here to see that fight.
Yeah.
And I'll have to go back. I've got that feed somewhere, or the audio for that feed of where we're commentating and talking about it. And Cody come out like a wrecking ball in that fight. Like I seen where Sweeney said, "Oh, you was gifted that," but I don't know. I don't know. That is not the fight I seen. I seen he had Sweeney's number. Like he had Sweeney's number on that one.
Now Sweeney, I would say he started a little bit slower than he needed to against Cody. Because I said once Sweeney got a hold, once Cody got a hold of him, it was a wrap. It was no coming back from that. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't get out the first round. So
right. And Cody is one of those guys. You can name a few of them. A few of them. Of where if you're sort of a slow starter, this is not the guy you want to fight. Cody come out fired up, ready to put hands on it. He's not circling. He's not pawing this sleepy jab out there trying to find his range. No, he come out and threw the 2-piece and walked forward.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot start slow with a guy who comes out hot like that, that is itching to put hands on you. And I don't know. You can say he got gifted. You could say, oh, well, whatever you want to say. You run that fight 5 times. I say Cody Durden on that day wins 5 times. Like
I don't know now. I'm Sweeney has leveled.
Well, we're
up.
talking now.
Oh,
we're talking now.
Okay.
I said on that day, had they fought 5 times, Cody was. I think Cody got him all 5 times.
Okay.
Now,
you right.
once again, now you step into today and you go, okay, well, how much has John leveled up? This has been what 3 years since they fought.
Yeah.
What's going on, Sean? We're actually talking about your guy right now.
Yeah, we sure are. What's up, Sean?
How much has Sweeney leveled up in the last 3 years? How much has Durden leveled up? Yeah, he's fought in the UFC. Yeah, I'm sure he's turned his training up a notch. But how have they progressed apart or together since they fought that day? Again, 3 years ago, if they fight 5 times in a row, I say Durden takes all 5. He just had John's number that day. He had the speed. He had the aggressiveness. If they fight today, has Sweeney done enough to change his style to make it to where it's a fight, or is it the same thing?
Sean says Cody beats his ass on the worst day he could have. So, like I said, the bottom line is one of them fucked up situations to where somebody has catapulted off your ass. Though nothing, I don't even know. It's as a man, it's like somebody you've been talking shit at a bar, and then the fight break out, and that motherfucker sweeps the fucking floor with you. Your girl is there, all your friends are there. It's in your backyard. Every worst scenario that you can have happen on that night. It's a local fight. It's a popular fight. Everybody showed up for that fight. It's a who's who that was in the crowd. We were there, and it was just a mollywop. It was just a mollywop.
Yeah,
That bitch got
like I
stank.
said, I have to. I I've got to find the audio of where me and you were talking because I remember it being one of those. Oh, they stopped it. Like
Yeah.
it was it when he blitzed on him. There was no coming back from it. It was oh shit. Like he didn't have time to do anything. But you're right. It's not just okay. There's so many fans there. It was the local rivalry. It was so much shit talking and selling of the fight leading up. It was, you could almost say, Durden catapulted from it because I think his next fight was a UFC.
It was UFC. Yeah.
So it was another one of those. Whoever wins this fight starts getting the exposure, and it might be that one rung that they've been looking to climb to go to the big time. And it kind of looked like it was for this fight.
But leading up to, like I said, there's only a handful of fights that I can think of that had a legit story. And they had that story back from 864 where it was legit. It was a clash that everybody was trying to get done. Ever since after Holland, that was the one that everybody wanted to get done next because Cody bounced back from Holland. You know what I'm saying? We'll start making a little bit of a run. Sweeney had beat old boy's brother, Kevin Lee's brother, right? So that hype was getting back up. Everybody was going in the right direction. The shit talking was running hot. It was the fight that needed to be. So I give Abus credit. I don't know how these motherfuckers get the right fights at the right time, but that fucker does it. I don't know what they got paid. It probably got some lottery tickets, in a Mountain Dew coupon, but he got the right fight at the right time.
Well, I'm all about giving the devil his due. Oblas does pull a horseshoe out of his ass, but I'm not going to say, and I believe he would agree with me, it's not just all him. He's got a good matchmaker. He's got a good team. He's got a good community. I'm talking about the NFC as a Facebook group and as a being in itself of when stuff pops off or rivalries pop off or gym shit pops off, they keep the communications open of all you got to do is holler at anybody there and they'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all want to fight? Okay, well, let us draw up the contracts. So, hats off to them as a crew and a community of, he would be one of the first ones to tell you it's not just him. Yeah. He's got a good group there that they make shit happen.
Sean asked about whatever happened to Ryan Hollis. No, that motherfucker jumped off the grid with both feet. That motherfucker just up here.
It's literally Hollis. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it a promotional thing, radio broadcast that was supposed to be about Hollis that actually popped off the Sweeney Durden controversy? Like they were there supposed to be promoting the Hollis fight, and the next thing you know, they're almost fighting in the radio studio here in Greenville.
When I talk about this should have been a WWE script. It was so perfect that I thought the bitch had to be made up. It was so good, right? So let me tell you, hey, fight fans, if you don't know, let me give you the whole story. Now the video clip has been running around for a while. It has gone viral a couple of times, but let me show you how it went. So in Greenville, we started doing live promotions on air, so the fighters can talk to a radio host and boost the fight in Greenville. So it was Hollis, Sweeney, and Cody Durden, right? It was those three.
And
right?
Roger Carroll was there too.
And Roger Carroll was there. Did we ever even get Roger Carroll? For some reason, I forgot why Roger Carroll was there, but he was there.
I,
He
I
became
believe
security.
he was cornering Ryan
Ryan
Hollis at the
Hollis.
time.
That's right.
Yeah,
He was cornering. That's right. Okay, that's why he was there. So Cody did his interview first, right? And it went good. He talked his shit. He talked about Hollis for about 8 seconds, right? Then he kept looking back at John Sweeney and was saying, after I get done with Hollis, it's gonna be me and you, right? I'm gonna go through this
right,
guy, and like I said, it went so fast that it wasn't even an interview. So
right.
he's sitting on one end of the room, and John is on the other end. It's time for Hollis to do his interview. So he's doing his interview, and I'm recording it on my camera, right? They start talking shit while Hollis is doing his interview, right? All right, guys. I was doing this, right? Was nobody fucking listening, right? So, so Hollis got so frustrated that he pretty much cut his short. He's like, I don't know why I'm not being respected when I'm running through mother efforts, blah blah blah. Freaking Cody gets up, and now they beefing. They face to face talking slap swit where freaking fucking goddamn it, what's name had to get in between them, right?
Roger Carroll
Had to get in between them, and I'm recording the whole thing, right? I said, holy shit, we got real heat, right? They said fuck Hollis. I mean, they really said fuck Hollis. It was like, god
Well,
damn. It was
well, it's
hilarious. It
funny.
was hilarious.
I've went back and watched it. And it's funny because it's just like poor Hollis can't catch a damn break.
No,
Like
no.
this is supposed to be. He complained through most of his career about organizations not respecting him or not promoting him, and he complained about this, complained about that, and then he gets to an organization and we're trying to promote him and we got him on radio, and the next thing you know, in the middle of his damn interview, these two motherfuckers steal the show,
Yeah.
wanting to fight. And basically Durden says, man, fuck this dude. After I smoke his ass, you're next. And I can just picture Ryan's face of motherfucker again. Like,
Yeah.
y'all can't let me talk for just a minute. Like, damn. Like, it was so funny looking back and going, and Hollis didn't have a fucking prayer. And then it was like the next fight after that, he was supposed to fight Jared Scoggins, and the promotion shut down and a bunch of shit happened. Anyway, he gets left high and dry up here in North Carolina with
Stranded.
no flight home and just stranded. Like, the kid can't catch a break.
And here is the funny part about all that. Not only is he getting shitted on by other fighters who's not even fighting him yet, right? He can't get enough money to even get home. He was one of the most winningest fighters on 864. If I'm not,
He was one of those that he would pull out a submission out of his ass, and it would be he was knocking off the top ranked guys,
yeah,
but nobody was really giving him any respect. I mean, nobody was like, oh, I got to fight Ryan Hollis, whatever. It was almost like everybody just kind of kept looking over it. Like it was crazy the way it was. And I remember me and you having that conversation of, I don't know why nobody's talking about this kid. Like, this kid will throw hands. He's got a slick little submission game. Like, nobody was talking about him. I don't know what the problem was.
So look, so outside of Robert Hale, who I think went undefeated, going into a major title shot. We supposed to get that big 5,000 purse. Hollis was second. He was supposed to fight Scoggins for bigger money than Robert Hollis. Who else was undefeated? There weren't that many fighters that went all the way up into that gold position when they're supposed to make that so-called real money. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hey, Josh Bratton, what's up, buddy? Yeah, Josh, that was one of the things we were talking about was these guys end up almost fighting at a radio interview that we had them at, and Darren was right. It almost looked like a WWE reel, and we were like, holy shit, is this real? Like, where did this come from? Because they weren't even supposed to be fighting each other. They were there to interview about fighting two other opponents, and the next thing you know, they're almost coming to blows in a broadcast booth.
Mm-hmm.
Of it was the real deal. These two just absolutely couldn't stand each other. But yeah, Sean Cornyn's talking about the submission he hit on Tim Goodwin.
Tim Goodwin, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that fight because I was one of the people. Some people were actually getting on Ryan Hollis's side at that fight, talking about, oh yeah, whatever. And I was one of the guys going, wait a minute, I know Tim Goodwin. He's a beast from back in the day. He runs his own gym. He's no slouch. And yeah, Hollis just, I think that was that Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah, that was Columbia.
Somebody chime in on that. I believe it was Columbia, South Carolina.
So look at the guys he's beat. That's why it made it so important for him to fight Scoggins, because he legitly earned it. You know what I'm saying? They weren't throwing him to Jarrett. No. Oh yeah, Jarrett was the other one who went undefeated. They won all their fights. So he submitted freaking Cody in the jewel gate. He's the first fighter to be drooled and put out. So look how viral that went. Look how many memes about that drool gate went out. You know what I'm saying? And then he reversed triangle Tim Goodwin. Right? I mean, legit high level submissions that you got to go, God damn. Okay, this guy, and then nothing. He didn't get nothing from that. You know what I'm saying? And how good we were doing, how much eyeballs was on us at that time, that should have catapulted him somewhere. In nothing. Not a damn thing.
And yeah, we'll see, Josh. You have a good one, buddy. I'm gonna hit you up.
All right, Josh.
Yeah, that's what Sean said it perfect as well. Where's he at? Well, it was like after that fight fell through between him and Jared catapulted to Bellator, I believe, and then Ryan fell off the map. Like every now and then makes some incognito Facebook post about his lonely ass at Taco Bell or some shit. I don't know. Like it was some off the wall. I don't know about that kid. It's like he reminded me of a 1970s like hallucinogenic rock star. Like he just go off on the deep end and disappear for a year, and then you'd hear about him fighting some number one ranked guy and him smoking them. Like it was just weird.
Yeah, but
he should be in Bellator right now, if not the UFC.
He freaking fought Henry Cejudo. So like I said, he's fought. Yeah, he's fought some major guys. And here's the funny part. That's why we get to laugh so fucking much. Is that when you get fucked up, it doesn't go nowhere. So now that beef that Cody Durden was having with C.J. Hamilton, I got that clip where they were arguing in the back of I think it was NFC. And CJ was like, look, motherfucker, you fuck with me again, I'll submit you like Ryan Howard did. I was like, so it was. So once you get it, you got it, dude. Once you get fucked up,
I tell you. All right, Sean, somebody look this up. He reminds me of that. This is exactly who Ryan Hollis reminds me of. He reminds me of that UFC fighter that come out of, I want to say he come out of London. I might be wrong, but he come out of Liverpool or London or one of those places, comes in the UFC, runs through everybody in his weight class, and is supposed to fight Tito Ortiz, and then he disappears. And everybody's like, wait, what the fuck happened? Like, that dude was undefeated, a wrecking ball, was about to fight for the title, and he disappears. And come to find out, the fucker was in the middle of this big like heist, like this international heist, and got locked up for life. Like, wow. And everybody's like, wait, really? And you're like, yeah, Google it. Like the fucker was a real gangster. I cannot remember that dude's name. Somebody tell me. If D was on here, D would already hit me with it.
Shit,
I cannot remember that dude's name.
Yeah, I'm surprised to be in on here. But like I said, but you are making all the correct points. That's how fun this shit can get when you focus on trying to keep it real and about fighting and getting into good fights. Because the shit's going to be organic. right? When you try to fake the funk, you make it just about money and all that kind of good stuff. You never get what you're trying to get, because all of these matches that we should have made never got made. Never got made.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Jarrett now didn't get his fight. You know what I'm saying? Against Hollis, which would have been a major fight at that time. That shit didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So we missed out on a lot of fights that we should have got. That we should have fucking got. That were leading off to be fucking epic.
I hate leaving things open like that. Lee Murray. That's who I'm thinking about. Lee Murray.
Okay, hey, the guy's name is Lee Murray.
Hey, you want some fun rabbit hole shit to go down after we get off here? Look up Lightning Lee Murray and the UFC, and then look up what happened and how he got arrested and all that shit. Like, it's a rabbit hole, dude. But you can look up his highlight reels, and, dude, he reminds me of Ryan Hollis. Like, the same demeanor, the same me mug you, the same submit you, may knock you out, like it's a toss-up. Mm-hmm. That's who it reminds me of.
All right.
Now, obviously, Ryan Hollis is nowhere near as big as Lee Murray was, but same kind of off-the-grid dude of, if they told me right now Ryan Hollis was sitting somewhere because he knocked off a bank in Fresno, I'd believe it.
Hey, that's how life get, man, when you struggle. Hey, but before we wrap this up, because we had an hour again. This is how much we get into it, man. Where an hour fly by. This is the Q&A aspect of our podcast, where you get to ask us some questions. So I know everybody is going hot, but if you got a question that you want to ask us, or you want to talk about, chime in right quick. Especially you, Sean Cummings. I know you got something to say, and let's go ahead and get into it. But I'm trying to think, man. What beef would you want to see now? All the fighters we know right now, what beef would you want to see locally?
I'm going to say...
Hold on, let me preface it with this. Not just two motherfuckers that want to fight each other. I'm talking about from the best shit talking leading all the way up to the fight. Who can carry some shit talking and leading up to a fight that you want to see fight each other?
I mean, I don't want to look like I'm bantering here to the local scene, but I would love for... Okay. Well, I'm going to go this route. You know how you've got the Justin Scoggins, Keith Richardson fight coming up in bare knuckle? Mm-hmm. I would fucking love to see another fight, say in 6 months, they come back to Greenville, South Carolina, or Columbia, South Carolina, fuck it, somewhere else other than Myrtle Beach. And to see John Sweeney versus Cody Durden on the card. Or to see them fight in Jorge Masvidal's bare knuckle MMA.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, because the leading up to the fight shit talking would be just world class. Like, it'd just be. I seen it pop off on yours the other day, and I was like, here we go. They gonna start throwing low balls like a motherfucker.
And low balls ain't the word. I ain't trying to put people business out there, but John Sweeney cutthroat. John Sweeney cutthroat.
Oh, yeah.
John don't give two fucks about your feelings and your family. He called out Cody Durden's wife.
Oh, no.
In that daggone, I ain't gonna say what he said, but he called her out, and then it didn't blink. I was like, God damn, and spelled everything right.
Hey,
I was like, shit.
You got John, one of them little guys. You know the thing you got to watch about them little guys. They short enough they can either headbutt you in the balls, or they can easily reach your Achilles tendon and cut that sumbitch too, and you don't see either one coming. Like, he's cutthroat, bro, and he don't give a shit. Shout out John, man. He is a trip.
He likes it. He ready for that smoke, man. Like I said, he ready for the smoke. I mean, if I had to ask him flat out, is there any fight he want back? I guarantee it's that one. I guarantee. But when I posted, I asked Cody. I said, Cody, if Sweeney makes it to the UFC, would you let him get a rematch? And Cody says he at 125 now. He said he trying to go for that 125.
Well, he's been at 125.
Has
He's
he been
at 125. Yeah.
So I know
Here's the
daggone
thing.
well. Hold on, I know daggone well. Sweeney ain't make no 125 when they fought at fucking NFC. He had to be 135.
I don't know. My thing is now at those lower weight classes, there's not a lot in the UFC for anybody. I feel like if you're going to fight at those lower weight classes, the only place to fight is one.
Yeah.
And if you go to one at those weight classes, you know who you get to fight? Motherfucking Jared.
Garrett, yeah, you don't want that smoke.
You don't want, like, shout out to Jared. Neither one, I'll go ahead and tell you right now, just in case either one of y'all are thinking about it. Neither one of y'all motherfuckers could play flag football, team up, and fight that motherfucker. I know him. Yeah. Like, you talk all the shit you want to. You want to talk about real gangsters? I don't think either one of you want that smoke.
I put very few fighters in the steal your soul category. I put Jared in the steal your soul category. When somebody can demoralize you and go, I don't want this smoke no more, is Jared. His pressure game is no fucking joke, man. It's no joke.
Well, he's went on the other side of the world and ran through a whole weight class and called it and said I'm going to do it and said how he was going to do it and did it. And now's your belt holder. Oh, well, let me guess. You want to move up a weight class because you don't want to fight that motherfucker. Who you going to fight? Demetrius Johnson?
That's who he wants to fight.
Like, you're talking about a motherfucker that makes up submissions while he's fighting you in front of the world.
Yeah.
Like, makes up some shit.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't want to fight. You don't want that.
But then I have a
Joan agreed with us.
Yo, I have to give it to him though. His record is what, 22-2 or 20 something like that.
I can't remember. I haven't looked at it in a minute, but it's
real
legit.
low. It's real low. And then this motherfucker told me he was fighting at 14. He said he got his first loss at 14 and he wanted to quit. And his dad said, "Knock that shit off, man. You're fucking 14." And then he didn't lose since until fucking years later. To have a 22-2 or whatever the fuck record it is.
Yeah,
at 14.
He's just, the thing is, his record don't show how he's matured as a fighter. The belt on his shoulder does.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's coming to his own now, and it's kind of like what he said. I heard him say it in one of his little cut interviews they showed of, he's only getting better. Mm-hmm. If you fought him 5 years ago, you didn't fight the motherfucker he is today. Yeah. Like he's coming into his own now, and he's a beast. And there's, I'll quote some of the greats. There's levels to this shit, and he's hit a new level in one that I don't think some of you guys that are trying to break into the UFC is ready for.
Because that's what I asked him. I asked him, did he feel that he hit his prime when he was in UFC? He's like, no. He's like, no. He said, when I really started getting to mix it up at one, I felt my stride. And then he fucking showed it. Man.
Right.
You know, so good guy. So whoever fights Jarrett next better eat his Wheaties and pho at the same time, because it's going to be.
Hey, we're in the middle of talking about it, though. Look who is like his main training partner was leading right up to that fight.
Jarrett.
Scoggins was in his corner.
Yeah.
No, Justin.
Yeah.
Justin was in his corner at that fight. Justin was sparring with him leading up to that fight. That's another one of those that his name I don't think gets thrown around enough of. I don't see a lot of you motherfuckers calling his name, because that's another one that will give you the business in a hurry wherever you want to go.
And that's it. And that's man, you hit it on the head, because I think I'm an aggressive guy, right? That as long as you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone, right? But if I get in a situation, I want that smoke. If it gets like, okay, I can't get out of this. Okay, well, let's do this. We're doing this. As a fighter, how does your pride let you not go, that motherfucker I gotta get my hands on. He ain't gonna be whooping ass in my backyard. Or he got the belt, I got to fight that guy. But you don't hear nobody saying shit. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Again, well, I think it's an easy one. I think it's an easy one. I think you got the ones calling out, okay, the bad dude down the street.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm going to call out this one that I know I'm not going to fight on the other side of the NFC. There's a difference between calling out Joe Smo from down here in Union, South Carolina, and calling out the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Jared has legitimized himself with that belt as the best in the world at that weight class. Mm-hmm. Justin, a lot of people's been saying he's one of the best in the world at that roundabout weight class. Demetrius Johnson, best in the world. Bo, you call out Cody or John or whoever the hell you want to from right down here and down the street, but you step up to those guys. You remember, you got to beat 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys that are the best, arguably, in the world at that weight class before you even get to fight the boss.
To even get to
before
him,
you even fight the boss.
To even get to him. And then, what happens if you get the brakes beat off you? It's hard. I give fighters
long fall.
Yeah, I give fighters credit who lose and come back and become even greater. Those are your real good champs. A lot of motherfuckers get the business, ain't never been the same since. You know, they get their ass handed to them, and they just can't get right no more. And then their career kind of falls off. Look at freaking Tony freaking goddamn it,
Ferguson.
That's my mind gonna get old like a motherfucker. Right? Look, he went on a 12-fight win streak, beating up everybody. He was the literal boogeyman. Everybody was scared of him. Then he gets his ass handed to him, and he declines. He declines.
Right.
He held that top spot forever. Then one good mollywop, and now he's struggling.
And you also got to remember, you say, why are some of these not calling out this one or that one? You also got to remember, I mean, I'm going to end up quoting Eminem here. If you're Jared, oh, these guys ain't on my radar. I don't give a shit about these guys.
That's a good point.
Like you ain't even broke into the elite fighting yet.
Yeah,
much less ranked, much less or a threat to me. Like, shit, even if you broke into one or the UFC now, Bo, you a couple of years away from even being able to speak my name.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's one reason you don't see a lot of that, because it would almost be ignorant of you to even be mentioning people like that.
Mm-hmm. Shoot, speaking of, let's talk some more shit right quick, because we've been going way past the hour, so we'll wrap it up in a minute. But
I was about to say, I glanced down and I'm like, shit, what time we go on? 6?
We're hour 17. How do you feel about one doing Muay Thai open class, and you got Overeem in the mix open class? What's your take on that?
Okay, there's so many different ways I could go with this. I think if you've been following me for any amount of time, especially if you've been following some of the old school talks that I had, I'm an advocate of, I feel like as long as y'all agree, in a contract or beforehand, I say let these motherfuckers run all the peds they want to run. Let it go. You might want to see Overeem in the UFC. Fuck that. I want to see the Overeem that was in Pride.
Yeah.
I want to see this motherfucker 260 with an 8-pack and jacked. I'm mad that Brock Lesnar wasn't around back in them days, because there's no telling the size you would have got to see him fight at. I say let them run whatever world-class doctors they want to run and medicine they want to run, and let them fight. Yeah. I want to see Overeem over there where there's not a whole lot of testing, and you get to see the best of the best. I've said this comparison before. Do you want to see the Vitor now, or do you want to see the Vitor from before when USADA couldn't fuck with him?
Mm-hmm. And like I said,
that's the Vitor I want to see.
And Jack don't mean good. You still got to be good.
Yeah.
Right. So that's it.
Sure.
because you own some shit don't mean you could deliver some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let me make this comparison. Do you want to see the Lance Armstrong pedaling a bike before he got all the good shit, or do you want to see the Lance Armstrong that was 7 times champion?
After. You damn right.
All
But
right, same thing from I brought up Gordon Ryan earlier. Do you want to see the Gordon Ryan before he become the Danaher Death Squad president,
mm-hmm,
or do you want to see the motherfucker now that's on PED and jacked and just calling out motherfuckers left and right, and it's already got a resume that
mm-hmm,
nobody will ever be able to touch,
mm-hmm,
much less beat?
mm-hmm. It's like I said, everybody talks a good game, but like I said, at the end of the day, you still got to win. You still got to win. So when you talking shit and winning, motherfuckers don't give a fuck when you're winning. I guess that's good and bad of it all. You know what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers gets mad when you say, hey, this motherfucker was this motherfucker was that, but they still whipping motherfuckers' asses. And they go, look at John Jones. John Jones been called every name in the book. As soon as he wins, motherfuckers is happy. Motherfuckers is happy.
Again, we could go on and on and on and on about, and this boom mic is pissing me off. We could go on all day about do's and don'ts and what should be allowed and what should be allowed.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, really think that it is up to, obviously the organizations and whatnot. But if you were to ask me, I say, Bo, get rid of USADA, let them run, let them do what they can do, with the doctors they got, whatnot. Get rid of all these bans and let's go. Again, do you want to go to Mr. Olympia if it goes to all natural?
Hell no.
Do you?
Hell no.
Do you?
Hell no.
All right, then.
Hell no.
Same thing. Same thing.
All right. Well, on that
Same
note,
shit in my
man.
book.
Yo, on that note, we're going to go ahead and bring us a close. Because like you see, me and Chad, we kick it. We have a good ass time. We can talk all goddamn day. We can talk all goddamn day. And like I said, for the next show, y'all chime in our inbox. Either hit up Chad or hit up me. Any questions that you want to go over with us, that you want to talk about, hit us up and let us know. Like I said, if you got a fighter, that you want to talk about, hit us up. If some shit is popping off that we don't know about, let us know, man. Hey, we grown, we old, we got shit. Well, I'm old. I got shit to do. I ain't following your ass.
That's definitely a we. That's definitely a we. You hit the nail on the head. I've said it time and time again. Hey, holler at us. Let us know who your favorite fighter is. Let us know, who's up and coming or who you're following that we might not catch. You got to remember, the algorithms are fucked from one week to the next. So who you might think we're seeing, we might just not be seeing them. Or we might just be concentrating so much on this other guy that we ain't noticed. Hey, we ain't above it. By all means, we're easy to reach out and get in touch with. Hit us up, shoot us a DM and say, hey, my guy over here is killing it. He might not be 20-2, but he's 4 straight wins over here at whatever organization. Or tell us about a new organization popping up we might not be seeing. Hey, we're all about coming and interviewing them.
And especially if the motherfucker missed weight. Definitely hit us up. If you want to laugh, if you want to turn this podcast into a comedian show, tell a motherfucker miss weight and they go for a belt or some shit or they made a goddamn event. That's the kind of shit we would love to hear. All right, with that being said,
I'll ruin your day.
I'll make you famous. That's all you need to know. Chad will ruin your day and I'll make you famous. All right, Chad, with that being said, bring us on home, brother.
Hey, we've said it time and time again. We appreciate you. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you commenting and being a part of the show. If you've ever been on here before or if this is your first time, hey, comment on here. Let us know that you're here. Let us know that you're tuning in. Let us know what you want to hear. We will try to touch on it. We'll try to elaborate on it, or we'll try to get you answers if you have some. We appreciate you. Jump on Coach D's other personal sites. Jump on mine, The Liver Shot. Catch us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. And we'll just keep trying to give you the real. That's what we're trying to do. When everybody else is bullshitting you, and I can't never say it enough, fuck Arrowani. Everybody else is bullshitting you. Follow us. We're going to give you the real, especially in the Southeast.
And like Chad said, man, we just want to make sure you have a good show. You're being entertained by what we do. And we're going to try our best to make sure we cover the local scenes, especially, and the pro scene like we can. Give you the real conversation so we ain't, we want to be worth listening to. At the end of the day, we want you to come hang out with us and enjoy us. That's all we really want. And if you got some shit to say, well, fuck you, 'cause we'll come at you hard, and we won't spare you or your family. So we can go that route too. So it really don't really matter. We're the Wild Hour for a reason. We bring it to you like we bring it, because this is Coach D doing what I'm doing, calling it like I see it, talking my share of shit. Until you hear from me again, peace out.